matter the platform you're watching on, TikTok, Instagram Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. It is wonderful to have you with us as we celebrate this sports day. There is a ton of sports going on today. We've got the Wimbledon final going on right now. Novak Djokovic down 2-0 to Alvarez, trying to fight his way back. Will he come back? We'll keep our eye on it as it goes on throughout the show. And of course, we have some early baseball because of the Roku deal with Major League Baseball. The Orioles host the Yankees at 11:35. One of the reasons we've got to get into that action pretty quick. But we have also day baseball across the board because we are entering the All-Star break at the end of today. There is no night game. It is all day baseball, so everyone can get on their bit of vacation or get out to Texas for the All-Star game. With that said, there's also a couple of WNBA games in on that. We're not going to focus as much on that, but if you do want to hit me up about it, maybe we'll spend a little bit of time on a couple of the games. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome into the show. Bud Fumble Sports is a sports content company created by a sports fan for you real sports fans at home. What we do here is research. We obviously talk sports, rant about what's going on throughout the sports day and what's going on in the sports world. But that said, we do our research for sports betting and fantasy sports. I'm not connected to any sports book. I'm certainly no sports betting expert. I just follow the trends and data based on the research that we do. My background is in being a producer and content developer in sports media for ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, and for Jim Rome. So that's what I just love doing, and so I decided to start a company, Bud Fumble Sports. So appreciate you guys following, appreciate you subscribing, appreciate you being with us on this glorious sports day. I did do my research prior to the show, and I actually did put my picks up already. I make my picks available for free every single day because I never think you guys should pay for picks. I'm a big believer that I do this research and would put together picks whether I did the show or not, so I just give them away for free every day. If you want to check those out, DM me on Instagram. Bud Fumble Sports is my Instagram handle. DM me. I'll hook you guys up with my picks every day for free. I'm a big believer that you guys shouldn't pay for picks. You guys should get research for free. If that comes along with picks, great. If you want to pay for picks, it better be from a Vegas insider or a sports book expert, and I'm certainly not one of those. I just love researching sports data. With that said, I don't actually have a pick for the Orioles and the Yankee game. For those that are curious, we're going to dive into the research because I'm absolutely all about that. But that said, I didn't actually pick this game, and it's because I got in my head about it. The Yankees look like they're having a good bounce-back series. The Orioles haven't been swept at home in such a long time. Just felt like it was a bit of a split decision there. That said, did want to call out some notes. I always love looking at like day of the week stats. I always think it's a fun thing to look at. I wanted to make note of this. There is one team so far this year that has dominated on a Sunday, and that is the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are 14-1 straight up on Sundays. Don't ask me why, but they have dominated on Sundays, 14-1. Now at home, that is where that one loss has come into play. The Red Sox are 6-1 straight up at home. But interestingly enough, they're only 2-5 on the run line. So even though they've had a lot of wins at home so far this year, they've been a lot of one-run wins. So we'll keep that in mind for that game. Now let's talk about that Yankee-Oriole game. Orioles are at home for this one, as mentioned before. Orioles at home on a Sunday are actually 3-5 straight up, 3-5 on the run line, so not as good as you would like them to be. And on the other side of things, the New York Yankees, when they've played on the road on a Sunday straight up, the Yankees are 5-3 straight up, 5-3 on the run line. As for the over is 6-2 when the Yankees play on the road on a Sunday. The Orioles, the over is 6-2. So just based on Sundays and these two teams, maybe the over is a good play. There's another trend I want to look at before we dive into the two teams specifically. I just want to see how these two teams have done in day games when they're coming off a game in the previous one. So when it's a day game, let's also look at the last game of a series, because we know this is the last game of a series for every team across baseball. So, when these two teams have played a day game, last game of a series so far this year, the Yankees are 13-5 straight up. How about when that's been on the road? The Yankees are 8-4 straight up, 7-5 on the run line. Over's been better at 7-4-1. Let's flip it around and look at it from the Orioles' point of view. Day game, last game of a series, and they're at home. So far this year, the Orioles are 7-5 straight up, 5-7 on the run line, 5-4-3, favoring the over. So again, the over just looks like a good play. Again, that's only based on a few variables that we're looking at. Nothing I'm getting too crazy about. I do want to dive into the starting pitchers for these two teams. The starter, Carlos Rodon, for the New York Yankees. So far this year, he's been very hot and cold. He got hot, then got cold, then he went on this amazing win streak. He had 7 straight wins in a row, dating from about May 8th until June 10th. And since June 10th, he hasn't won a game. He's lost his last 5 straight starts. The over is 11-6-2 in his starts. And not just that, I was looking at the matchup earlier this morning, and the player prop bets for this game are really advantageous on both sides. So let's dive into the player prop bets while we're looking up the game. Now, already on my big board, I showed you, if you were paying attention, I already have Juan Soto over half a hit today, very much like him. He has a hit in 4 straight games. He actually has he has a multi-hit game in 4 straight games. He has a hit in 8 of his last 10 games overall. And against a right-handed pitcher, 7 of his last 10 on the road, 7 of his last 10. So Juan Soto, over half a hit, definitely someone I like. Against Dean Kramer, in his career, Juan Soto, 2 for 4 with a home run, 1 RBI. Aaron Judge, also someone to keep your eye on for today's action. One of the reasons we like the over in this game, Aaron Judge, lifetime, 4 for 12 in his career. 3 of his 4 hits against Dean Kramer are home runs. 3 home runs, 4 RBIs, and just 12 at-bats for Aaron Judge. So if you're looking for some player prop bets for the Yankees, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, both of them hit him very well. But another hitter who hits the starting pitcher for the Orioles very well is Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo, lifetime against the Orioles starter, is 7 for 21 lifetime. 2 of his 7 hits have been home runs, 6 RBIs. That's in 21 at-bats. So a large sample size. That's Judge, Soto, Alex Verdugo, 3 hitters to absolutely have your eye on today. Now, they're being offered at various different spots, but keep your eye. Alex Verdugo, now he's been very hot and cold, just a hit in 6 of his last 10 games, 6 of his last 10 against a right-handed starter. He's been, like I said, but that said, actually, 6 of his last 10, let me date it back. 6 of his last 9 games against the Orioles in Baltimore, he has a hit. That's all in a Yankee uniform. I'm going to add this on as well. Alex Verdugo, over half a hit. Very, very nice play. And I actually really like the return on the investment here. You can get this pick at around a -230, -245 for half a hit. Not a terrible play. But if you like him, depending on where he is in the lineup, actually, we'll know what that is. Because we already know the lineup really quick, I'm going to look at the lineup. Alex Verdugo is hitting 4th in this one. Look for over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He hasn't been hot on this at all, but he's hitting 4th. It might be a decent play. Because he's hitting 4th, I just expect him to be in an RBI situation. Maybe what you want to do is you could take it over half a single. He has a single in 6 of his last 10 games. He really hasn't been hitting the ball for extra base hits too often. So if you want to take over half a single, not a terrible play for Alex Verdugo. Again, if you want to move from that like -230, 245 area to closer to even odds, you could get over half a single between -120 and -135. So that might be a slightly better play. By the way, flipping back to this game from an overall standpoint, the market is favoring the Yankees just a little bit in terms of the money. 51% of the tickets are on the Orioles to win, while 57% of the money is on the Yankees to win. The over is getting a bit more love from the money as well. 61% of tickets on the over. 65% of the money is on the over as well. So if you do like following the money, that's where the money's coming down. We mentioned Carlos Rodon, though, on this losing streak. When he's pitched on the road so far this year, he's 7-5 straight up. The over is 7-3-2. Again, I think the over is a very strong play for this game. When he pitches on the road against a team with a winning record, 5-3 straight up. The over's 5-2-1. Really quick, when he's pitched on the road against an AL East opponent, he's 0-5. Really interesting here. Carlos Rodon, so far this year on the road against the Blue Jays, Red Sox, Orioles, and Rays, he's 0-5 straight up, 1-4 on the run line. The over is 3-0-2. Again, I prefer the over for this game. A lot of reason to believe the over is actually the better play. Let's take a look at it from the Dean Kramer point of view. By the way, Alcaraz is about to win his Wimbledon championship, his second in a row, triple championship point currently going on in that. If you are watching that, Alcaraz is about to close in. Could be a very good day for Spain. Wimbledon and a Euro Finals championship could be a very nice day for them. Taking a look at Dean Kramer so far this year, 5-6 straight up. The over's 8-3. Again, I reiterate to you guys, I think the over's the better play right now. Forgive me, I'm watching Wimbledon on the side here. He double faulted. 40-15. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in Wimbledon. That said, getting back to the Yankee game, because I know we're closing in on that, the start of that one. Keep your eye on Yankees. I like Yankees and Orioles to go over 8.5. The total right now is at 9. I feel like it's going to bust that. These two teams play so well against these two starting pitchers. These lineups hit them well. We're going to get to the Orioles in a moment. Oh my God, Alcaraz can't put him away. He can't put him away. I want to get this bet in as well. But I like the over. Dean Kramer, the over's been a strong play. How about at home? 4-1. The over's 4-1. He has just a 2-3 record at home so far this year. But the over, again, a really strong play. So I'm going to lean towards that over in that one. Just a few minutes left in that. Yankees, Orioles, over 8.5. I'd like Soto over half a hit. I like Judge over half a hit. But those aren't the only two that I prefer on this one. Oops. Additionally, looking at the other side of this, Carlos Rodon, some tricky numbers as well. Against Mountcastle, hits him well. Santander hits him well. Westburg hits him well. Adley Rutschman against left-handed pitching is hitting 385. He's 1 for 3 lifetime against Rodon. Here it is. Oh, he missed. Alcaraz missed. Wow, he had the chance to put it away. Mateo hits him well. So just a lot of hitters in this lineup who hit him well. Adley Rutschman over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs against left-handed pitching at home. Hasn't happened recently against the Yankees. Has happened 3 straight games against left-handed pitching at home. Keep your eye on that one as well. Adley Rutschman over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. The trends back that one, so keep your eyes on it. Again, the alternative total I would take is the 8.5. on that Yankees and Orioles game. And I'd probably pair that with like a Phillies on the money line. If you're looking for plus money, I really like the Phillies on the money line, so I'd absolutely be willing to do that as well. Or Orioles, Yankees over 8.5, Phillies on the money line. We talk about, so anyways, that's where I come out on that game. I'm not gonna pick a team on that one. I feel like it's a coin flip of a game. Personally, I don't like the fact that Carlos Rodon hasn't beaten an AL East opponent on the road so far this year. Definitely something that concerns me, but at the same time, Orioles are playing their worst ball of the year, frankly, over the last year. Not just this season, but over the past year. Really quick, I do want to look at a team trend for this one. Again, we're about 15 minutes away from the start. When the Orioles are coming off back-to-back home losses, it's only happened 7 times this year. The under 5-1-1. The under's 5-1-1 under that scenario. Doesn't overly concern me, to be honest. Funny enough, the one Sunday in which they played under those circumstances, the over hit. It was a 6-4 over against the Brewers earlier this year on April 14th. If you told me today was a 6-4 total in favor of the Orioles, wouldn't shock me. That would make a lot of sense. Obviously, again, Rodon, Kramer, that's really where I'm getting kind of the vibe from in this one. But the Orioles have lost their last 3 straight games coming off back-to-back home losses. So, surprise scenario here. Novak Djokovic from being down triple championship point is now rallying, so an interesting moment there in Wimbledon finals, Wimbledon championship. Our focus is on baseball right now. Again, for that Yankees-Orioles game that's about to get underway in just a little bit, we're taking the over 8.5, and we're taking Juan Soto over half a hit, Alex Verdugo over half a hit, and I would take Adley Rutschman over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs if you can get it. Another player we obviously like is Aaron Judge. I think Aaron Judge is going to have a great day. He's got great numbers against the starting pitcher. Keep your eye on Ryan Mountcastle. If you can get Ryan Mountcastle over half a hit, I'd probably take that one as well. Willing to put that one up on the board. That's Ryan Mountcastle over half a hit. Those are some of the plays we like for that early game, getting it out of the way. Now, it's up to you guys. Where do you want to go? What do you want to focus on? We are all about your questions now. We wanted to get that early game out of the way. By the way, for those that are curious, I'll actually put my pick up on the board. Spain to win Euro final. I think Spain ultimately wins. Novak Djokovic now at 6-5 in the third set. Interesting. That said, I think Spain is going to win today. Spain over England, if you can find it. The one thing I hate about betting on soccer, I have to admit, is there's a lot of, I can't find where I can just bet them to win the game. Whether it's in extra time, whether it's in overtime, whether it's in penalties. They're constantly trying to make it where they have to win in regular time. And I'm just saying Spain's going to win. Spain's going to win this game. I'm firmly believing in that. They've been the best team in the entire tournament. England played their best game in their last performance. But that said, England has a tendency to really go stretches of a game without good play, especially without good offensive chances. And I think Spain is by far the faster, better team. Maybe not in terms of star brand power, but in terms of talent, kind of like what we're seeing at Wimbledon right now. It's the younger Spanish player that's outplaying the star brand name. I think that's what we're going to see later today in Germany. So my expectation is Spain is going to beat England. I am very much about that bet. I do have a couple of bets down if you do go over to SHARPZ and you're curious about my soccer picks. I picked a 2-1 final I picked both teams to score in regular time, and I picked a final score of 2-1, just as kind of a fun side bet. If it cashes, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. But I think Spain's going to win. So that's my take. I didn't bet on Alcaraz. That's who I was going to go with from the moment the final for Wimbledon was set. Just not a good return on investment. The betting really didn't offer anything that I was excited about, but I certainly think he's going to win. He's up 2 sets. I know he's battling in the third to put Novak Djokovic away, but feel good about that. Jordan, Yankees, Pirates, Phillies, lay is a lock. You heard it from Jordan. There you go. Daddy, take that. But Yankees kick ass when they play home. Well, the Yankees aren't at home today, so big note there. The Montana, yes, I do like the Braves on the money line. Already up on the big board. I do like Braves on the money line. A lot of that has to do with Chris Sale starting in that one. Chris Sale on the mound. Really quick. Take a look at Chris Sale on the road so far this year. He actually is just 4-4 straight up, 4-4 on the run line. But when he faces a team with a losing record, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 on the run line. That's actually where he struggled, ironically. It's when he's faced losing teams on the road. That's not the case today. Padres have an above 500 record against teams with a winning record. Chris Sale, 2-0 on the road. 2 of his best performances. I'm believing in Chris Sale going into the All-Star break. He's not going to pitch at the All-Star game, so I think this is the best you're going to see of Chris Sale. So yes, I'm a very big believer. Yeah, Spain to lift the cup is the bet. Absolutely a believer in that. D. Oliver, Yankees money line and over 8.5. I'm kind of flip-flopping on the game. I could see either side pulling it out. Feels like the Yankees have more momentum, but that said, how often have the Orioles been swept at home over the last 2 years? So I love the over. Over 8.5 feels like a good play. 2 starting pitchers who do not have a good history against the lineups they're facing. So yeah, I'm going to lean slightly towards the over. Under 9.5 in Red Sox and the Royals game. We haven't looked at that one yet. Let's go dive into that game. By the way, the tiebreak is upon us in Wimbledon, set number 3. I'm taking Phillies on the money line. I'll show you guys this one really quick as well. Day games on the road. The Oakland Athletics are 3-8 straight up. Last game of a series on the road in a day game. Phillies at home. Last game of a series. Phillies at home. Last game of a series. Are 8-4 straight up. 7-5 on the run line. Phillies again, last game of a series, let's say as a home favorite, last game of a series. Nine and 6 straight up. How about when they're a home favorite against a team with a losing record? 27-8. Last game of a series. 7-4. Interesting, they actually are only 5-6 on the run line. Let's flip it around. Athletics on the road against a team with a winning record so far this year. (12-24). Wow. Yikes. Last game of a series. They have lost 2, 4, 6 straight games under the scenario that they have today. The Athletics have lost 6 straight games as on the road against a team with a winning record, and it's the last game of a series. Again, 6 straight losses. I'm going Phillies on the money line. I'm not getting too arrogant about it, but Phillies on the money line. I also do have Brandon Marsh over half a hit for that one. Really quick, let's look at the player prop bets for that game. It's a 135 start. So limited history between the Orioles and the A's rather, and the starting pitcher of the Phillies. Nothing we can really take from that one. On the other side, Joey Estes, no history against the Phillies. So I'm just going off the fact that Brandon Marsh hitting .297 against right-handed pitching so far this year. He is coming off a game where he failed to get a hit yesterday. So far this season, he's only gone back-to-back games against a right-handed pitcher without a hit once. That game against the Orioles back in mid-June. When that game is played at home, Brandon Marsh has not gone back-to-back games against a right-handed starting pitcher without a hit. You heard that correct. So far this season, he has not gone back-to-back games against a right-handed starting pitcher without a hit. So, based off of that, Brandon Marsh over half a hit. You can get it right now. You can get this at minus 175 on DraftKings, and that's actually the worst you can get on a return on investment. So I think Brandon Marsh over half a hit has got to be one of the best plays of the day, given he has not had a back-to-back game stretch at home against a right-handed starting pitcher without a hit in back-to-back games. Hasn't happened. So, very big on Brandon Marsh. You can find that up on the big board, as well as all my picks are made available to you guys. If you want my picks for free every single day, just DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports. We give away our picks every single day for free. I don't believe in charging for picks, so if you guys want them, you guys get them. Just DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports. You'll get access to every bet I make every day for free. Okay, here's a quick recap of the picks we've made. So I think Spain's going to win the Euro final. I like Yankees and Orioles to go over 8.5. Over 8.5. A couple of player prop bets for that one. I like Juan Soto over half a hit. I think Juan Soto over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs probably hits as well. I really like Alex Verdugo over half a hit. Alex Verdugo over half a hit. I like Ryan Mountcastle over half a hit. Ryan Mountcastle over half a hit. And Adley Rutschman over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. If you told me Aaron Judge was available over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, I'd absolutely take it. At 2.5, I'd probably take it, but it's not one of my favorite plays of the day. So that's Juan Soto, Alex Verdugo, Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, and Aaron Judge. 5 players I really like for today's Yankees and Orioles game. I think that's going to go over the 8.5 total. Midwest Cowboys, are you going to do another fantasy football league this year? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're going to do a lot of fantasy football mock drafts over the next probably 2 weeks, and we're going to start our leagues around August 1st. The Montana. Okay, so I have a number of friends who are Colombian, and they were in my ear earlier today going, we have a chance to win, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for Colombia. I'm rooting for Colombia. I think Argentina's going to win. So, if you told me this is the last major tournament that Messi plays in and he loses, I would be very surprised. So, I think Argentina are going to win. If I had to bet it, I'd go Argentina. I'm rooting for Colombia. I think Argentina's going to win. That's where I come out on that one. Raspberry Fago, Astros, Rangers. I actually didn't bet this game. This is a really tricky one for me. Let's go to where the market is for this. Rangers, Astros. The market's favoring the Astros on the money line, but it's favoring the Rangers at plus 1.5. Battle of 2 amazing starting pitchers. Scherzer is on the mound for the Texas Rangers. Ronel Blanco on the mound for the Astros. According to BallparkPal.com, they actually think the Rangers are going to score more runs. They think the Astros have a greater probability of winning. It's that kind of coin flip of a game that has me very unsure. I actually think Rangers plus 1.5, probably a safe play, but I don't want to say safe with a lot of confidence, actually, so I shouldn't say safe. Let's dive into it from a hitter standpoint. I'm actually going to go the player prop bets on this one first before we go to the game stats, or to the team trends, rather. Looking at the history, Ronel Blanco against the hitters of the Texas Rangers. Jankowski, 1 for 3. Langford, 2 for 6. Adolis Garcia, He has a 273 average and 11 at-bats, but no home runs. In fact, only Jonah Heim has a home run against him, and he's hitting 143. So just not a lot of great history against Ronel Blanco for the Texas Rangers. Against right-handed pitching so far this year, Corey Seager leads the team. But again, Corey Seager, not great numbers. Only 1 for 9 lifetime against Ronel Blanco. On the other side of things, against Max Scherzer, Jeremy Pena, 3 for 5. Yordan Alvarez, 2 for 4 with a home run. And Diaz, 1 for 3 with a home run. Yordan Alvarez is who I've got my eye on today. He's up on my big board already. He did have a hit yesterday. He has a hit in 7 of his last 10 games overall. 14 of his last 20 at home. Against a right-handed starting pitcher at home, 13 of his last 20. Against the Texas Rangers, he has a hit in 10 of his last 12. So, 10 of his last 12 home games against a right-handed starter. 18 of his last 23 home games against them. I like Yordan Alvarez over half a hit. That is available. Not a bad spot to take it. Good history against the starting pitcher. So again, Yordan Alvarez, he's up on the board right there. Yordan Alvarez, player I very much like for today's action around that Astros and Rangers game. Now, let's dive into the trends on this one. As a home team so far this year, the Houston Astros are 4-3 at home on a Sunday. I know, bizarre. Just looking at some trends. On the other side of things, the Texas Rangers as a road team on a Sunday, 5-3 straight up. Under's been a good play for... over-under's fine. Let's take a look at Max Scherzer on this one. Max Scherzer, so far this year, obviously only 4 starts, 2-2 so far. The under's been a better play at 3-1. I'm actually going to look at Max Scherzer in his career against the Astros. When he's been on the when he's pitched against the Astros, in his career, 9-4 straight up. The over is 10-3. The over is actually hit in 2, 4, 6, 7 straight games against the Houston Astros. So whether he was pitching for the Rangers, the Mets, the Dodgers, or the Nationals, this dates all the way back to his time with the Nationals. In fact, Max Scherzer has not had a game go under against the Houston Astros since 2024. We got to make another bet on this one. Another pick I didn't expect to be making. We got to take the over. That is a phenomenal trend. It hasn't been since 2024 that he has had a game go under its total against the Houston Astros. And that's going through 5... He's been on 1, 2, 3. He's been on 4 different teams, and he's hit on the over every time against them. So I'm going to throw this one up on the board. Again, not something that I bet prior to the show, but I am going to put it up on the board right now. I'm taking the over in this one. I'm taking over in the Astros and the Rangers game. That's just a crazy trend. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to believe in it. I'm going to throw it up on the board even. Should I wait? I'll wait. I'll wait until we look at Ronel Blanco. I know Max Scherzer's been pitching more towards the under, but that's just a crazy trend, right? Like, is it just me or against the Astros? That's crazy. 7 straight games against the Astros, the over is hit. So anyways, let's take a look at Ronel Blanco and see if I'm off my rocker. Ronel Blanco, so far this year, under's been a very strong play at 12-4-1. At home so far this year, Ronel Blanco, the under is hit. Under's hit in 7 straight games he's pitched at home so far this year. So don't follow me on this one. Don't tail me on this. I bet it and I'm excited about it, but don't tail me on this one. Ronel Blanco hasn't faced the Rangers this year. He is a home favorite when he's been a home favorite this year. He's 6-2 straight up. The under's 5-2. Don't tail me on this, okay? I'm saying this right now. Don't tail me on this. I got excited about that trend, and I'm gonna ride it. But if you're actually gonna go with anything, the under seems like a better play. So maybe you should fade me on this. Maybe you should fade my exuberance to take the over. Has he faced the Rangers in his career? Okay, so interesting numbers. Ronel Blanco has faced the Rangers 3 times in his career. He's 3-0. 3-0 in 3 starts against them. So 3-0 straight up, 3-0 on the run line. I kind of like the Astros on the money line if you're going to do it. A lot of history between Max Scherzer and some of the hitters he'll be facing. So I like the over, and I like the Astros to win. That's where I'm coming down on it. You can follow me. You can fade me. It's entirely up to you. I'm making picks based on the trends that I see and what I'm excited about taking. I'm not necessarily saying every bet we make is a smart one, but we're following this one based on the trends. So I'm going to take the Astros on the money line, and I'm going to take the over. I'll take over 6.5 to get a plus 142. I'll just ride it. I'm going to ride it. A lot of 2-leg parlays. I did some same-game parlays there. Appreciate you guys being with us. That's where we come down on this one. I think I like the Astros on the money line, though it's not going to make my big board. Not enough confidence in it, but if you asked me, I'd probably lean towards the Astros for now. I really like Yordan Alvarez over half a hit. Probably my favorite play from that entire game. Can you find a no homer in a game trend, please? No homer in a game trend? I actually, first of all, Taylor, it's a great question. I'm not going to do it now. That would take me some time. The answer is I'm sure you can. I would just need to do some research prior to that, and that would take a lot of time. So that's something I'm definitely interested in looking in on my own. Eric, I do like the Mets. Eric, I do like the Mets. Cody Hopkins, I did mean since 2014. Beautiful stroke. So Max Scherzer hasn't gone under the total since 2014. So his last game against the Houston Astros that went under the total was back in 2014 when he was pitching for the Detroit Tigers. So just another world. Yeah. Some people asking about the Red Sox on the money line, Red Sox on the cover. So again, the Red Sox have been the best team on Sundays so far this year. We opened the show talking about that. The Red Sox so far this year, 6-1 at home on Sundays, but only 2-5 on the run line. So even though the Red Sox have been a very good team at home, they've struggled to cover the spread at home on Sundays. Money line favoring the Red Sox. Run line favoring the Red Sox. It is favoring the over as well in terms of the money. By the way, Alcaraz won, in case anyone was curious. We moved on from it because he won that tie break. That said, Brian Bayo on the mound for the Red Sox. Brady Singer on the mound for the Royals. Let's take a look at the 2 starting pitchers. Brady Singer, so far this year, 11-4 straight up when he's pitched on the road so far this year. 4-4 straight up. And he's pitched against it. I'm curious to know how he's done against the Red Sox in his career. We've been looking at those kinds of trends throughout the morning as well. Brady Singer, when he's pitched against the Red Sox in his career, 2 wins. So Brady Singer, 2-0 against the Red Sox, both 9-run performances by the Royals. Kind of interesting there. So Brady Singer in his career, good numbers against the Boston Red Sox. Brian Bayo, I don't think he's got any history against the Royals. Let's take a look at it, though. against the Royals in his career. Just one start, it was a win. So both of these pitchers have a good history against the team that they're facing today. Let's add a little bit of context to Brayan Bello and look at how he's been performing so far this year. Now, he pitched really well in his most recent start, but prior to that had been struggling, and at home so far this year, he's just 1-6 on the run line. Again, Red Sox, I like them on the money line. I'll take Red Sox money line, but I'm taking Royals plus 1.5. Royals plus 1.5 is where I come down on it. Folks are asking about the total. I lean maybe slightly towards the over. Both of these pitchers, there's a little bit of reason to believe that the over could be a nice play. So I lean maybe a bit more towards the over than I do the under right now. Let's take a look at the player prop bets for that one. That's Royals, that's Red Sox. Brayan Bello. Adam Frazier hits him well. Massey hits him well. Melendez. MJ Melendez is 3 for 3 in his career against him. He failed to get a hit yesterday. Of course, I recommended him as a bet yesterday. Forgive me. But prior to that, had been hitting right-handed pitching very well. In fact, over his last 20 games, only once has he gone back-to-back games against a right-handed starter without a hit. On the road, he has... So over his last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, over his last 13 road games against a right-handed starter, he only has failed to get a hit twice. He hasn't gone back-to-back games without a hit. I'd put MJ Melendez back up on the board. MJ Melendez over half a hit. But additionally, on the other side of it, I really like Connor Wong today. Brady Singer has pitched pretty well, actually, against the Red Sox in his career. Oh, it's Reese McGuire. Too bad. I had Connor Wong at a bunch of player props. So, anyways, I had Connor Wong. He had a good history against Brady Singer, and he's hit righties well. Funny enough, there's really no one in this lineup that I'm actually crazy about from a Red Sox perspective. It does change my thinking a little bit, but I'm not going to take the total, certainly because of that. Connor Wong, take him off the board, unfortunately. He is not in the starting lineup, so don't play him. Don't take the player prop bet on him. I made the mistake earlier of placing the bet. I don't really like him in a pitch hint situation. Yeah, Reese McGuire is going to be in this lineup. Probably the Red Sox I'd probably go with is Yoshida. If there was a Boston Red Sox player prop bet that I were to go with, Yoshida has been cooking of late. He's 0 for 2 lifetime against Brady Singer, but he's got a hit in 7 of his last 10 games. At home, 7 of his last 10 games. At home against a right-handed starter, 7 of his last 10, but really, 7 of his last 8. He's been on a really good hot streak. Masataka Yoshida, over half a hit, if you can find it. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs has actually been a very strong play as well. That's Masataka Yoshida, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs against a right-handed pitcher. Has hit in 6 of his last 8 games overall. At home, 6 of his last 8 as well. 4 straight. I feel really strongly about this one. So if I did have to go in any direction, Masataka Yoshida, I'll say over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI, and I'll take MJ Melendez over half a hit, adding those to the big board. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the content, enjoying the conversation. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're with us every time we're live. I love talking sports with you guys every single day. Hope you guys know it. It is so wonderful to have you guys with us. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday mornings wherever you are. Wimbledon just wrapped up, and of course, we have a wonderful day ahead as we have a Euro final, we have Copa America final, and we have a lot of baseball to get in because All-Star break starts at, like 7 o'clock tonight once the games wrap up, so a lot of afternoon baseball. Arctic Tiger likes our Yoshida play. By the way, if you are looking for some NFL Week 1 bets. We've actually already started putting in our bets for NFL Week 1 based on some of the trends that we studied because I wanted to get ahead of the line movement. So you can go check those out on the SHARPZ app. We make our picks available every day on the SHARPZ app. SHARPZ is like a bulletin board for sports bettors. It's an app. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. And you can follow your favorite sports bettors or individuals that you have a tendency to believe hit certain bets well or know how to, make money for you. So anyways, check out the SHARPZ app if you want to check out our NFL Week 1 picks. They're already up there, a number of them. Obviously, I'll make additional picks as we get closer to Week 1, but I wanted to put a few out there just in case there's a line movement on a few things. For example, I'm sure you're going to see some line movement in the Ravens and the Chiefs. Interesting game to look at. One game, the Dolphins on the money line. Really big on that one. Could see some line movement on that, but Dolphins on the money line. Obviously, this is pre-training camp, pre-injuries, pre-all this stuff. So a lot of reason to believe a lot of things can change. But if you're curious, you can go check those out today. Do we like the Brewers today? I did not bet on the Brewers. Brewers are not up on the big board. As a quick recap, here are the picks that we do have up on the big board so far. Phillies on the money line. Phillies on the money line. I did take Red Sox money line, but the Royals plus 1.5. I like the Mets on the money line. Mets on the money line. Guardians plus 1.5. Guardians plus 1.5. I like the Tigers plus 1.5. Tigers plus 1.5. I like the Reds on the money line. Reds on the money line. I like the Pirates on the money line. Pirates on the money line. I like the Mariners on the money line. Mariners on the money line. I like the Braves on the money line. Braves on the money line. And I like the Diamondbacks on the money line. So a quick recap of the money line teams. These are the money line teams. Phillies, Mets, Reds, Pirates, Mariners, Braves, Diamondbacks. Those are the money line ones. We're getting a request for a no run in the first inning. Can we find one no run in the first inning? I'll say Guardians and Rays. Colton Miller, Guardians and Rays, no run in the first inning. Guardians and Rays, no run in the first inning for that one. Guardians, Rays, no run in the first inning. Also say Nationals and Brewers. Nationals and Brewers, no run in the first inning. Nationals and Brewers, no run in the first inning. One more for you. I'll say Mariners, Angels. Mariners, Angels, no run in the first inning. So that's Mariners, Angels. In fact, I'm going to bet these as well. I haven't put in these no run in the first inning plays yet. So I'll take Mariners, Angels, no run in the first inning. Mariners, Angels, no run in the first inning. I'll take Nationals, Brewers, no run in the first inning. Nationals, Brewers, no run in the first inning. And I'll take Guardians and Rays, no run in the first inning on that one as well. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the content, loving the conversation. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're with us every time we're live. Coco, my picks are the opposite. I would love to see Columbia win, but I feel the opposite. Giants on the money line. Interesting question. I'm leaning just slightly towards yes. I actually think this is going to be a tight game, but I'm leaning towards yes. If you look at the market on this one, market's favoring the Twins. Be careful on this one. There's reason to believe that the market may know something. Let's take a look at Blake Snell. Blake Snell so far this year, 3-4 straight up, 2-5 on the run line. The over is 6-1 when Blake Snell pitches so far this year. The under hit for the first time in his previous start. The over is 4-1 when he pitches at home. The Giants are 1-4 on the run line when he pitches at home. 1-4 on the run line when he pitches at home. And I'm just kind of curious. When Blake Snell has faced the Twins at any point in his career, the over is 5-1, and he's 2-4 straight up, and he's 2-4 on the run line. Folks, we have another bet that I kind of like on this one. This is another in-game play. I'm going to take the Twins to cover, and I'm going to take the over. Twins and the over. I'll even put them in a same-game parlay. I like the Twins covering, Twins plus 1.5, and I like the over 7.5. So it really is based on Blake Snell's limited history against the Minnesota Twins, but the over's been a very strong play. And additionally, Blake Snell, over's been a strong play this year, and he struggled to cover the run line at home. So that's kind of where the reasoning comes in. Looking at the starting pitcher, Chris Paddock for the Twins. Chris Paddock, so far this year, 11-5 straight up. The over's 9-7 when he's pitched on the road. The over is 6-1. Check out that over for Giants and Twins. Check out the Giants and Twins over. Kind of some reason to like that one right now. And is Chris Paddock ever faced the Giants in his career? Let's take a look. He has 4-3 straight up, 4-3 on the run line. The over is 4-2-1. I like our play right here. So I think Giants money line could easily happen. I don't have it on the big board, but right now the picks I just made on the side right here are Twins plus 1.5, and I like the over. I think that over 7.5 is very attractive in this one. Over 7.5 is great. Mr. Otani, I use a couple different things for my research, everybody. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, a couple different things for my research. I use Outlier. Outlier is a research app. It does require a subscription. If you want a free 7-day trial, DM me on Instagram. That's Outlier, Outlier. It is an aggregator of information. So it also has partnerships with the sports books. So it's really easy to place bets, but it lets you see every single prop bet. So anyways, Outlier, check it out. DM me if you want a free 7-day trial. I also use killersports.com. Killersports.com is free. You just have to be able to know how to build your question or build your algorithm. But I believe it takes data from like baseballreference.com and it makes it accessible. You just need to know how to type in the question. If you watch on YouTube, I can be a tutorial for you guys. You know, you type in the season. It's and or statements, really. If you use Excel, you'll understand it very easily. It's a series of and or statements. There are a number of shortcuts in order for you to build the algorithm, the search algorithm really quickly. For example, if you want a starting pitcher, you put in starter equals Blake Snell and opposing team O, team equals Twins, Blake Snell against the Twins, regardless of a time period. So anyways, lots of ways to break down the data. Killersports.com, KILLER sports.com. That's the free website that I was just talking about. You guys can use that for free every day. I also use ballparkpal.com. I don't show that on my screen too often. They don't sponsor the show. But that said, ballparkpal.com runs thousands of simulations behind every baseball game every day using the data that they have accessible to them. I like to use them just kind of as a reference point. I don't use it as the gospel, but more often than not, the simulations do pretty well. So I do tend to follow them, or I tend to use them as kind of a last check. Like this Giants and Twins game, it likes the over. I like the over based on the trends. Kind of nice to have that continuity of opinion. Appreciate you guys joining the show. Hope you guys are enjoying everything. Can we check the Reds game if we haven't already? Let's check the Reds game. I have Reds on the money line, by the way. I already put this up on the board, but let's take a look on the market for this one. I did take Reds on the money line. They're getting a lot of love from the money line, not so much from the run line. This has a lot to do with the starting pitcher for me. So starting pitcher in this one, Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers is the starting pitcher for the Marlins. He is 3-14 so far this year. 3-14 in his 17 starts. 5-12 straight up. 5-12 on the run line rather, when he's pitched on the road, he's 2-5 straight up, so he does have 2 of his 3 wins on the road, if you want to take that for what it is. The under has actually been a very good play. The under is 6-1 in his starts on the road. But Trevor Rogers, last game of a series, regardless of location, 1-5 straight up, 1-5 on the run line. Just a lot of reason to kind of fade Trevor Rogers. Nick Lodolo on the other side. Nick Lodolo, when he's been on the mound for the Reds this year, Reds are 10-3 in his starts. They've played really well. When Lodolo's pitched at home, 6-2 straight up. So it's really a story of 2 starting pitchers for me. Reds have been very good in Lodolo's home starts. Obviously, Trevor Rogers has been god-awful regardless of location. So because of that, I like the Reds on the money line. Reds on the money line's where I'm coming down on it. I am kind of curious really quick. Trevor Rogers in his career, when he's faced the Reds, if it's ever happened, only 1 game, lost it 11-2. So kind of what I would expect, kind of what I'm expecting rather. On the other side, for Nick Lodolo in his career, going up against the Marlins, only 1 start, he won 11-2. That came against Trevor Rogers. Kind of crazy, actually. The last time that Nick Lodolo played the Marlins was against Trevor Rogers. This matchup happened 2 years ago. It happened July 25th, 2022. The Reds won 11-2. Kind of interesting. So these same 2 starting pitchers, almost exactly 2 years ago. Wow, 9 days from now. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay, nerding out. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the nerd conversation as much as I am. It's been a lot of fun talking sports with you over the last hour. Let's do a quick recap of the player prop bets or of the game picks we have up on the board. So far, we have Yankees and Orioles over 8.5. That one already underway. We have Phillies on the money line. Phillies on the money line. I'm splitting the difference on Red Sox and Royals. I'm taking Red Sox on the money line, Royals plus 1.5. Red Sox money line, Royals plus 1.5. I've got the Mets on the money line, Mets on the money line. I've got Guardians plus 1.5, Guardians plus 1.5. I'm taking the Tigers plus 1.5, Tigers plus 1.5. Reds on the money line, Reds on the money line. Pirates on the money line, Pirates on the money line. Mariners on the money line, Mariners on the money line. Braves on the money line, Braves on the money line. And Diamondbacks on the money line. We also have a lot of player prop bets up here. If you want to know my player prop bets, DM me on Instagram. It's easier to do it that way. DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports. Make sure you DM me on Instagram. I give away my picks for free every day. If you're new to Buttfumble Sports, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, I am not a sports betting expert. My background is as a producer at Fox Sports, CBS Sports, and for Jim Rome. My background is in producing sports content as well as researching sports data. And obviously with fantasy sports and sports betting, I did a lot of research around that. My picks are based on the research. So it's not based on a long history of working for sports books or nope. I place my bets based on the trends that we're seeing, based on the matchup, the history between the two teams, the circumstances of that day, which game of a series it is. Is it home or road? Is it a right-handed starter or is it a left-handed starter? Who are the umpires? What's the weather? All of the circumstances I can get my hands on, that's what goes into our picks. We usually hit at around a 65 to 67% rate on individual bets. Important to note, on individual bets, we're around 65 to 67%. I do a lot of round robins and a lot of parlays. Don't do parlays. Parlays are a bad move. I do them because obviously I'm promoting parlays for some of our sponsors and things like that. I highly recommend limiting your parlays to 2-3 legs at the most. Keep them round robins if you like doing those. But that said, when we take all of my bets together, individual bets and parlays, We hit it around a 55% clip. That's slipping a little to 54%, but usually around that 55% rate. That said, I don't want you guys to follow every bet I make. Follow some, fade some. It's entirely up to you, but I want to empower you guys with data, research, and information. And I say to you guys again, I never charge you guys for my picks. I think that's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. So we give away our picks every day for free. But Fumble Sports, DM me on Instagram. You can get every bet that I make every day for free. Every parlay, every player prop bet, every game pick, every total play, every run in the first inning play. I don't care what the sport is, what type of bet it is. I give away my picks for free every day. I do that on the SHARPZ app. That's how I'm able to pull it off, because they show you every bet I make. So make sure you guys DM me on Instagram to get every bet I make. JP Money, I'm taking over 2.5 goals. Yep. So I'm taking Spain to win, and I took England and Spain. I'm taking over 2.5 goals. So, yep, I think that Spain ultimately raises the cup, and I think England and Spain win. Appreciate you guys being with us. I love talking sports with you guys. Juan, love having you in the comment section watching the show. For so many of you, I know this is a part of your regular schedule, and we are so grateful for it, because seeing you guys show up every day is absolutely awesome. 3 pick sharp. Give me 2 dudes going yard today. You can actually find that bet on the SHARPZ app. I did put together a player prop bet. I'll say Christian Walker. Is one of them. I'll take a chance, and I'll say Nolan Arenado and Christian Walker. A couple of surprise. I'll change that. I'll say Yordan Alvarez and Christian Walker. I wanted to say Nolan Arenado. Those would be 3. So 3 pick sharp. I'll say Yordan Alvarez, Nolan Arenado, Christian Walker. Those will be my 3 for home runs. Just a shot in the dark. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the content, enjoying the conversation. We're going to sign off in just a few moments. Obviously, we've got a lot going on. Yeah, Ohtani did cash yesterday. We gave that one out yesterday. We said Ohtani would go yard. Yesterday was a good day for the brand name home run hitters. Judge homered, Soto homered, Ohtani homered, Bryce Harper homered. So a good day for those who were big believers in kind of the superstars going yard. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. We're going to sign off now. If you missed any of our picks, we give them away for free. DM me on Instagram. Again, my Instagram handle is ButtFumbleSports. ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram. I give away my picks for free. So DM me right now. That's ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you guys up with my picks for free. And I'll see you guys at 4:30 tomorrow, everybody. 4:30 tomorrow, okay? Make sure you guys are with us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick at 4:30 tomorrow. And of course, DM me on Instagram for every bet I make every single day, always for free. Have a great Sunday, everyone. I hope it's a glorious one for you, no matter where you are. Can't wait to see you guys. Goodbye, everybody. Be good.